clarify what is right, what is wrong
Live
through this
streaming
debate.
is on.
So now let us get into the discussion. Srijit has requested me to address this crowd for 900 seconds. Because why I use seconds? Because if I say quarter an hour or an hour, you people will feel bored. Okay, this guy is going to speak for hours together. So it is not hours together. It is going to be just 900 seconds where I'm going to be with you all. And the responsibility which has been showered on me today by Srijit is to set the context. Context in sense, what is that we are going to talk about today, and how our dialogues and debate should go with. So this is the objective given to me, and I like to do justice of whatever is being showered on me. So I'm trying to articulate what I think should be the right way of starting this debate. Now, I would like to begin this today in our today's life. There are two people to whom we rely on to get what is the truth. One is Thiruvalluvar in Tamil Nadu, where for any problems, whatever we have, he will give us a solution. Even for people who want to do science or mathematics, or to get into Bachelor of Arts or anything after 10th or 12th, if you ask him, he will immediately give you an answer saying that N எழுத்தென்ப இவ்விரண்டும் கண்ணென்ப வாழும் உயிர்க்கு. So you'll say, do either mathematics or you do either science, or all things are equal and it is perfect. The next one is Mr. Vadivelu, our Vadivelu, and with his memes, he is very powerful. He tries to give solutions through all his memes and other things. So the younger generation today are looking at memes and they are carried away with the messages what it comes in, and it is very powerful also today. So today the topic given is the examinations. Do examinations like NEET is required or not required? That is a kind of a topic. Is this examinations required? Now, to give a understanding about this topic, I will give you a short story, two stories in fact, so that it becomes more interesting for people there on the conference. The first story which I want to talk about is, um, one, there is a exam which is getting conducted, where there is a vacancy in a bank. I heard this in a YouTube video only. There is a vacancy in a bank, and there are people called for interview. So one of our friend named Christ Muhammad Krishna, because I'm secular, I want to use all three communities' name. So he attended this interview, and there was a question asked in the interview. Many questions saying, "What is your name, father? What are you doing? What is your qualification?" All those questions, and then they come to the subject and they asked, "What is 5 plus 4? Add the number between 5 and 4." This guy quickly answered it as 8. And the interviewer said, "Okay, good. The interview is done and you can leave." And other people were being called for the interview. And when this guy came out, he is very sure that he has lost the interview because he made a big mistake in answering 9 instead of 8. 5 plus 4 as 8. And this guy came back to his home and said, "Okay, I have lost the interview." To his surprise, he got a call later after a week saying that you are selected and you can now come and join the bank. This guy was completely taken a beating, saying that how can I get into this particular uh, bank? Then the day came in, he joined, and he was being interested on some work, what he is supposed to do. He was doing all this work. And after a week, when he became much closer to the manager, he went to the manager quietly and asked, "Sir, I answered the question 5 plus 4 as 8, but still you gave me a job." The bank manager said, "We know that you are wrong, but we still gave a job because the other guys were much far away from the answer what you gave. So you are the one who are closest to the answer. So that is why we gave a job to them." Now, why I say this story? Because now having understood the story, is this kind of an interview, is this kind of a education system, or is this kind of a examination system is required to recruit people? Anyway, we are going to recruit people who are very close to the answers, not the right answer. So is this examinations required is the first question. Now let us go a little deep into this topic. When I get little deep into this topic, now if you look at these examinations across the globe, across the world, there was always an entrance examination conducted. Let it be for IITs, or it can be for IIMs, or it can be for foreign institutions to do an MS or an MBA. There are GMAT, there are multiple examinations which people are being uh, forced to attend, and based on their performance is where they get a particular seat in that particular specific colleges. It can be a Stanford or a Harvard or anywhere. So this is the system followed across the world, and we cannot say that we will not follow that system is one way of thinking. And of course there is no other better model than conducting an examination which has been done so far. Even in your, we have been trained to attend examinations starting from our first standard, where we keep attending examinations and we get our score, and that is how we have been selected to the next standard or so. So moving from one grade to another grade, there is an examination which is there. So now the question is this examinations giving me the desired result? Is such kind of examinations, these entrance examinations, what you are talking about, is giving that kind of a result? Is a question which we want to look at. Now, the answer is very simple. Yes, we don't have a better model. Till we get another model, I personally feel this should be conducted. But when I conduct such examinations, am I giving equal opportunity to everybody who is participating in this examination is the next question which we are asking. I think the debate is more on that today. I will say, I don't think anybody in this crowd will say no to an examination, because there's no other model, better model today to evaluate and identify the best talents. So when I'm talking about the best talents, the examination is important, but am I giving equal opportunity to each one of us who are participating in that examination is the next question. I think this debate will try to find answers out. So I'm setting a scope 1. The scope 1 is very simple, that do all the participants get equal chances, or are having an equal chance to win this examination? This is one. Number 2, what is being provided as a knowledge for them? Now let us come to our system. Maybe the problem which is now, which is very much talked about on the internet or in the social media, about a NEET as an examination. Now let us go one by one. See, today, before a NEET examinations were conducted, uh, most of the maybe all the medical seats have been filled through our public examination score, where we have been rated on 200, and the cutoff mark for a medical is always 198 and above, and maybe 199.9 is when the people are getting selected. Now those are the people who have been selected for doing a medical course. Now after NEET, they are saying it is difficult for them to clear. So my question is, the people in Tamil Nadu doing a lot of their maybe following the Tamil Nadu way of education or syllabus, why are they finding it difficult to clear examinations in NEET? A person who has scored 99.8 percentile, or 199.8 or 198 out of 200 is finding difficult to clear NEET, means there are two things. That is the second scope which I want to set for you. Is the syllabus what we are currently undergoing is the right syllabus to compete national wide entrance examinations? Number one. Number two is, are we being prepared properly to face such examinations? That is the second question which I am leaving it for the debate to find the fact and get the answer with. When I'm talking about this too, I want to again tell a story about what is, see, today our syllabus, maybe our way of education so far, is only training our memory skills of we mugging up certain topics and keep writing that on the paper. But here, when it comes to NEET, I think there is an application knowledge which is required for us to really do well to clear NEET, is what I understood or what I came to know from the people who have appeared for the NEET examinations. The story is very simple. There is one old father, and he has three sons, and he wanted all the three sons to be good in their life. So he called them and said, "Boss, you do good things, then all good things will come to you. This is the simple logic which I want to teach you, and I want each one of you to follow it." Three sons said, "Okay, this is something which I will do. I have no problem. I will do it immediately." And at the end of the day, the father called the first son and said, "What are you doing? What did you do today as a good thing?" I said, "Boss, I don't know what is good, what is bad." Then father called all the three sons and said, "See, I will give you a simple example. Try help a old woman cross the road, and that is called a good thing." Three sons said, "Okay, now we understood what is good." And at the end of the next day, the next day, the father called him and said, "Have you done any good things?" The first son said, "Yes, I did a good thing." "What did you do?" The first son replied, "I just picked one old woman and helped her crossing the road." "Okay, great." He called the second son. He said, "What did you do?" "I also helped an old woman to cross the road." "Oh, is it the same woman?" "No." "Is it the same woman?" He said, "No. Maybe the father thought it's two children, two women, and these two guys could have helped." He called the third boy and said, "What did you do?" I also helped the old woman to cross the road." Now the father got, "Okay, how did you do that? What is that you did? Is it three different women or the same woman?" He said, We all helped the same woman. In fact, we got the help of another person also there to make her cross the road." He said, "What happened? Why three people helped one single lady?" He said, "That lady is not happy to cross the road, but we ensured that all four of us carried her from one part of the road to the other part of the road." So now what happens is, in this story, it is very funny, but the reality is the same. The reality is very simple. The father said, "Cross the road," help the woman cross the road. And these guys took it literally and caught one old woman who is standing in the road, who doesn't want to cross the road, but picked her and put her on the other part of the road and said, "We did the good thing." So the analytical part is completely missing in this particular aspects. So I think we have been training ourselves in order to do not do an analytical activity, and we are trying to do the logical, not doing the logical activity, but just trying to do what we heard or what we say. If those kinds of examinations should not be the right way of evaluating a people, is what I personally feel, but I'm leaving the crowd to take a call and decide. See, there is always a difference between three things: education, knowledge, and wisdom. In Tamil, we call it as Kalvi, Arivu, and Jnanam. There are always a difference. When we talk about education, to give it, make it more simpler to you to understand, I will tell you what comes from outside to you is education. வெளியிலிருந்து உள்ள வந்தா அது கல்வி. And if you try to repeat it with yourself, with your ability, then it is called arivu. That is coming from you to outside. That is called arivu. That is called knowledge. Sorry, that is called knowledge. Yes. The third one is wisdom. Using that knowledge, how you make things more better for you, understanding how it works, is called wisdom. Arivai arinda telivu is called jnana. So today I think examinations, worldwide entrance examinations like GMAT or CAT or NEET or IIT JEE, or those examinations, I personally feel, is able to check out your knowledge, not on your memory skills or not on your capability to vomit what you have learned. And we have to now answer ourselves whether these kinds of examinations are good or just memory skills are okay, and how to go about it. Now, the third scope which I want to set. So now I've set two scopes. Number one, is this kind of an examination, even though it is there, is all my participants are getting equal chances to win the examination is one scope. The second scope is just analytical and logical skill is to be checked, or just a memorizing technique should be checked, is the second scope. The third and the final scope which I want to set for the crowd is very simple. Now, for anything which has been into place, for example, this NEET or any examinations, I wish everyone in this debate to go deep, dig deep, and find out why this examination is actually called for, and why are we, uh, why the government or why the learned scholars are persisting in doing it. When did this originate? How is things happening? What are the hurdles which it has crossed? Is there any Supreme Court ruling when it has come in? Just look into the history of it before deciding it. I will also give you another little twist on the debate, what we should look at. When it was the previous regime of selecting people to the medical colleges, we have been always looking at the cutoff marks, which they have scored on the board examinations. The board examinations in sets, out of 200 marks, if you have scored 198 or 199, you are selected for medical or so. Where a guy who is studying in a CBSE board, which is construed to be little tougher than our Tamil Nadu educational board, has always have a higher chance of clearing that cutoff mark and getting into a medical seat. Today, it has been the other way around, because through the NEET examinations, today the CBSE students are having a better advantage than the Tamil Nadu government syllabus students. So now we have a challenge. So what it was advantage to us previously, now we are into a disadvantageous position, and people who are at large in a disadvantageous position are now in the advantageous position. So now, how to make these corrections in our society, where each of these boards are equally equipped or giving that kind of a knowledge to the people to hone us in terms of we getting preparing ourselves in competing in this kind of competitive examinations and becoming successful there. So these are the 3 points which I want to set a context for you. One, each opportunity is equal for everybody. Do we need to check the memory skills or our analytical and logical skills, or we need to uh, we need to have a good education system which is giving that kind of a capability or that kind of a knowledge for everyone across India to be able to compete in the right way? These are the 3 questions. I think this debate will dig further and try to find a solution and understand why this NEET examinations are. As I told you, the fourth point, maybe that's also an important point. Look at the history of these examinations, how it has come to when this particular NEET examinations has been introduced in India. I think it is in 2013, but the law was passed on 2011. And of course, in Tamil Nadu, we were forced to take up this NEET examinations by 2017 or 18. I'm not very sure about it, but look at the history and why the people have been forced to do this. And I personally feel, when you get into such kind of facts and details, I am sure you people will end up identifying what is truth behind these kinds of examinations. And thank you, Srijit, because I know your name, but I am also equally thankful to all other members who have given me this opportunity to discuss with you and share my thoughts. Have a
Thank you,
great day.
Uncle.
Thank you.
It has been my great pleasure for us to have you here. Thank you so much for Uncle for spending your valuable time with us and snowing our seeds of wisdom to us. Thank you, Uncle.
Most welcome, Srijit. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Shiramatya, Uche, Prasanna Mother.
Thank you, Srijit. I'm leaving. Bye bye.
Thank you, Uncle.
Okay, guys.
Niramaja?
Um, yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So is everyone present here?
Prasna is not here.
I'll just give my address. Is that all right?
The
Okay, guys.
problem is, I think everyone cannot connect with Jitsi.
Is that so?
Yeah, everyone is
Yesterday
saying,
it is.
you can see the chat, they are saying it is disconnecting continuously.
I think that will improve over time. Um, so let's just.
Hello,
I'll
ஏன்டா நீ
just.
ஜாயின் பண்ணலையா? நீ இல்லை இங்க.
Srijit, it will improve. Uh,
Okay.
okay. So as our chief guest has said, and he has given us food for thought in a day where in the days where machine are becoming men, is it necessary for man to become machine? We have to improve ourselves, and that is why the statutory commission is formed to investigate whether our education system is capable enough to meet the demands of the future, and also create a need of respect and dignity among us all. We are in an age where machines are overtaking us in every aspect. Yet there are a few occupations which require ingenuity, creativity, and analytical skills. One of that is the medicine field, and the other and be almost every field that requires something which requires commerce to occur. So, gentlemen, I'd like to start off today's session with an attendance. Srijit, can you share the portfolios?
Director of NTA, if you are present, just say present. Director of NCERT,
Present.
Director of Tamil Nadu SCERT,
Present, sir.
Secretary of Ministry of Human Resources,
Present.
Chairman of Indian Medical Council,
Present, sir.
Minister of Education for Union Government,
I am present.
Secretary of the Ministry of Education for Union Government. I think he's not here. Delegation of eminent academic persons,
Present, sir.
Delegation of Indian and Parents Teachers Association, Delegation of Indian Press Council, Director of ICSE, Director of Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu Girish. Yeah, we'll go with it.
My name is Missy.
Sorry.
Okay, so let's just wait for a minute or two so everybody can connect back again. Is that all right?
They're saying it is again and again disconnecting. Uncle Ricky मुझे night remain. Darren speaking action.
Is anybody speaking?
No one is speaking.
No. Thank you.
Why are we not starting?